I think I think this gets us the key.
Ooh.
There's no keys in there.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
This is actually, there's keys, there's supposed to be keys in there. Our bags are packed. Today, we're going to Bucharest. We're leaving Poland.
It's bittersweet, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Like, we're so excited to explore a new country and go to Romania, but it's been so much fun being in Poland for the last 6 weeks. We were just talking about it and saying like how underrated Poland is.
I really think that of all the countries we've been to recently, other than Taiwan, which was also one of those places that actually really surprised us, Poland, if you're considering Poland, we highly recommend that you actually do visit, because yeah, this place has definitely surprised us. And this is going to be controversial, but Krakow,
Or were you gonna say?
I'm going to say it, Krakow was actually our favorite. That might be because of where we were staying, how long we were there, or that it was our first place, but
And I think we did well with the weather as well, which helps.
That's true. It's a nice day in Warsaw today, but we've only been here about 4 days, which is all we could fit in. Has pretty much been raining, which is why there's only a couple of videos.
Bit of a shame. That's okay.
So we've got an Uber scheduled, and we're heading to the airport in Warsaw. Today's just going to be a little bit of a travel day, which we haven't really filmed in a while, other than the train.
No, exactly.
But it's time to go by the looks of it. Our Uber is on the way, so it's going to be about 25 to 33 zloty to get to the airport. I think it's about a 20 or 30 minute drive, isn't it? That's old Warsaw being spread out again. We're going to grab our bags. Let's do this. So we've made it, a little bit of a queue. It's okay, we're flying with Wizz Air, which is really strict about baggage, so we've actually paid, you can't bring like a handbag or a second carry-on bag, so we've actually paid to get a smaller one as well, so that we're not over the limit. So you got one carry-on bag and then a smaller one as well. Well, it's been quite the journey to get to where we're sitting right now through security.
It took a long time.
By the time we got to the counter, we had 2 hours and 15 minutes until our flight departed.
I got a little bit grumpy because we got told to stand to the side because we were like 10 minutes early.
Apparently that's too early for an international flight.
That's okay. We understand there are rules and everything. I was just being grumpy.
No, but the weird thing was she was just like, oh, you're too early. And we were like, 2 hours 15? And she goes, just go stand over there for half an hour. Like, are you serious? And then that's the ironic thing is what I was saying is then by the time you do go to check in, you've got less than 2 hours until your flight, and then security takes an hour.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't the most efficient, but we got there.
That is travel.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Polish airports is they've got the space here where, well, not Polish airports, sorry, this one in particular in Warsaw. This is what's making us smiling, is that now there's, you can probably hear in the background, there's some guys in a shared space that's been set up. There's a piano and they're like jazzing out. They're called, what are they called?
I've got this little pamphlet here.
They're called Jazz Boys, up on the first page.
Oh,
Sorry.
This one?
Yeah, they're called the Boogie Boys, and they are absolutely going for it. I'll show you some footage. These guys are cranking. Forgot to mention on the Uber front as well, we personally still use it everywhere in Europe. What we normally do is we'll check what the public transport cost is and how long that's going to take and how difficult it is, and then add that together because there's two of us, and then weigh it up against the Uber. In places like Poland and a lot of the countries that we've visited and shown recently, actually, you're only paying like 20% more to just get an Uber direct from A to B. I think we even get a little, you can get $5 off your first Uber if you don't currently use it, using the code that I'll put on the screen here, or if you start a new account as well. Anyway, we're going to get a coffee now because the prices here are ridiculous. That's another insider tip of travel. Never anticipate on spending money at the airport on food. This is 5 zloty. If we want to get one right there, it's 20 zloty for a coffee. Unbelievable. we've arrived in Romania. Never really thought that we would say those words, especially after spending the last year in Asia. To think that you were going to be in Romania just it didn't seem like it was going to be a thing, does it? So stoked to be here. So first thing that we did is sort of SIM card, which is actually our travel tip is any country that you go to, if you're staying for longer than maybe like a week or 5 days, it's so cheap and easy to pick up a SIM card that you probably should do it. I think we paid 55 lei, and that was 50 gigabytes of data, which is ridiculous. And then she started talking about hundreds of minutes of this and 1,000 of this and something of that. Honestly, that we won't make calls, we don't need any of that stuff, so that was pretty straightforward. Then we're starving because it was a budget airline. Obviously, you don't really get many food options. So we asked the lady where we can get a sandwich or something or some food, and there was a spot upstairs which was 40 lei for a sandwich, between 30 and 40. And then we saw her, she said there's a supermarket downstairs. Came downstairs and we managed to get a Coke and 2 sandwiches for only 22 lei, which is absolutely insane. I saw chewing gum upstairs that was selling for 7, and down here it was 2 or $1 or 1 something. So yeah, that's the prices of airports again. You got to do your best to try and avoid them. I love the fact that Bucharest has just been like, we'll put a car 4 downstairs in arrivals.
Dane mentioned earlier that whenever we get to a place, we always weigh up our options between Uber and public transport. It seems like public transport here would have been great, but we're staying a little bit outside of the old town. It was cheap, but it kind of just came down to time versus money / I got hangry and said, let's catch an Uber.
It was like an hour 20 for public transport.
Yeah, and then like how long for?
This will be about 40 or 30 or 40 minutes.
So, I mean, either option was good, but we chose Uber.
And door to door, otherwise we were going to have to walk with bags for about 1 kilometre as well.
Well, that was about 40 minutes in the end. Definitely was worth not doing the public transport, because this city is, well, it's a big city. Like, it'd be crazy if we said, oh, it's really large here. We knew that. Fascinating place. What do you think?
So what I've picked up on is the driving is a lot like in Asia.
Yeah,
There's
loose and reckless.
a lot of reckless driving.
Driving on tram tracks. And,
the scale of the buildings are huge.
Yeah.
There's really cute little like areas in amongst graffiti and quite raw kind of areas.
Perfect example, right behind us is a whole bunch of graffiti. That's a school, maybe?
Yeah,
so there's terrible graffiti all over the place. We saw like this graffitied like rundown looking playground, and then literally just on a short street like this over the other side of the road there's this stunning outdoor,
such a cool like restaurant
looking
bistro,
5-star with a courtyard and everything. So I think we really like that contrast because it adds a lot of character. We say that quite often, and Poland had quite a bit of that going on. So I think this is going to be a really cool place. Sticking to tradition, we've picked what we think is the best building on the absolute worst street in a bad area.
So we're just trying to get in.
Yeah, this is the Airbnb like self-check-in situation. Most codes are 3 or 4 digits long. This one is 7 or 8.
How are we going to remember that?
I think this gets us the key.
Ooh.
There's no keys in there.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
There's keys, there's supposed to be keys in there. One moment please, caller. Luckily we've got 4G. Bam, that's where you get data. Now I'm going to have to message the guy who told me the 2 keys would be in there and explain that we don't have keys. Because there should be, I think, one set of blue keys, 1 set of green keys. Yeah, there's nothing.
Crisis averted, we're in. The other guests stole our key, but luckily it was all sorted really quickly and the owner was really nice, so absolutely no stress. And we are in love with this place already.
Instant love.
Yeah.
It's been, the day has all been worth it. All the little things to get to here.
Travel day was worth it. So I'll take you on a tour. I always start at the bathroom. It's kind of a weird place to start.
That's a girl thing.
Really nice like double shower in here. Everything's new and white and crisp. which I love.
You should turn around and go that way for this
This
big
way?
reveal of this place.
It's a studio, so
But look how fresh.
it's so nice.
It is fresh to death and minimal and
Where are you
beautiful.
pointing?
I'm pointing in this direction.
So, this is cool.
Boom.
We haven't had a TV in such a long time, so this is such a treat for us.
For
It's
sure.
a flat screen TV. Loads of storage, as per usual, which we'll never use.
Yeah.
But really cool. And then the kitchen has this really nice marble bench. We have an espresso machine.
Yes.
No pods yet, so not sure if we'll use it. All of the cooking facilities that we need. This really nice big window. Little working area, and then the nicest bed.
It is so nice. And this whole thing actually lifts up and there's like cleaning stuff and storage and everything under there. Only one last thing to check. Oh, it's soft. Stacey already knows. Man, this place actually genuinely feels like some form of
Like 5-star
luxury hotel.
luxury, yeah.
Which actually, I can almost guarantee people are going to ask to see what this place looks like or to have a look on Airbnb. So I'll put a link in the description below if you're curious to see. And don't forget actually that you can, if you use our Airbnb link, which I know we just mentioned the other day, but if you'll get $40 or the equivalent in your currency off your first stay if you sign up with a new email address. Why are you dancing?
You did not just get me dancing.
I might have, just the end of it maybe.
The fresh raspberries here are so good. I'm obsessed with them.
So downstairs, amazing. There's like a grocery store. That's the equivalent of like a 7-Eleven, which is always pricier. A Mart or something is always pricier than a supermarket. Everything is ridiculously cheap. So we think
spent
we'll,
so long in there just being like, whoa.
yeah. So we think we'll do a video at some stage of like how expensive it is, and we'll walk around and talk about all sorts of costs and everything. But we just got ourselves a beer from Warsaw, which is, yeah, we couldn't find any like Bucharest local beer to here, but still Romanian anyway. We've got so much that we want to show from Bucharest. We've got a street sort of local guide tour lined up, and
Like a walking tour and a food tour as well.
Yeah, and heaps of stuff on a list of all this amazing stuff
the
that we
list
want to
is
share.
huge, yeah.
We won't blabber on too much about it. Check back for the next ones. Make sure you subscribe so you can see them. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the comments. Bye.
Crisis of what? Oh no.
Day of travel. Okay. You got
No,
this.
you can't use that.
I believe in you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.